Taurus, how are we doing today? Welcome to Just on Tarot. If you're new here, welcome in. All right, we're going to be doing your weekly for the 29th through the 5th of July. See what's going on. All right, we're going to be using the Elemental Oracle. All right, just to get kind of a baseline about everything that's going on this week. All right, what do we have for Taurus? The beautiful zodiac sign of Taurus. Ooh, that one's popping out. All right, we have South. Adventure. So maybe you're taking an adventure. Maybe you're on an adventure. Maybe you're planning an adventure. You know, maybe you're going south towards warmer weather, tropical climates. And then we have alchemy, magic. You know, wherever you're, it's highly possible that wherever you're going on a venture to, I can't really read it because my lighting is not super well. So whatever adventure you're taking, definitely I feel like maybe allow some magic you've been holding within to shine. But just might be a good time for some travel. You know, this could even be just adventuring new paths. You notice how it's making you feel. Have you noticed, like, are you getting excited? Are you changing things up? But definitely, I like the adventure. All right, what do we have for tarot? And it's 2. So I feel like it's evenly balanced. Ooh, the sun. I love that. Feeling good, enjoying life out there. Maybe you're going somewhere sunny. Ooh, the lovers could be meeting somebody new. Ooh. If the Ten of Swords coming out. You know, I feel like if you've ended something with somebody that doesn't really communicate that well, that might be what you're taking this adventure for. You know, maybe you've been sitting in those emotions a little too long and you need to kind of break free of those. You know, focus on the magic that the world has. Because that's what the alchemy is. That's that magic of the world. You know, maybe you're starting to focus on the brighter sides when it comes to situations of love or choices that you have to make, you know, because of whatever this brutal ending is. You know, maybe you feel like it was some kind of missed opportunity with that 4 of Cups there. All right, give me 2 more. What do we got going on for Taurus? My beautiful Taurus. We have the Ace of Cups. I love that. And it's beautiful. You see all those beautiful, beautiful dove and that lotus. I think it's a lotus. Says that one. We have the 10 of Cups. That came out for Aries also. So we have the 8 of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands coming out. And I really like this because I feel like whatever you're working on or like whatever you're working to do brings you some kind of opportunity. And what was it? I heard a comment the other day, especially with adventure, it reminds me of this. Ships aren't meant to sit at the harbor. They're meant to adventure and soar and sail. So maybe that's what you're working on. Maybe you're going on a cruise right now. I've got the world behind that. So definitely starting something new. So overall, I feel like this week is focused on adventure. You know, what are those things that are lighting you up in your life? What are those things that you enjoy? You know, what colorful expressions can you have going into this week? You know, it might be about choices. This could be new love coming in. And it could be a new relationship, especially after, you know, something was kind of a brutal ending. But I feel like you're open with that Ace of Cups to just kind of exploring the world, exploring new opportunities. And it doesn't mean you have to travel to be on a new adventure. This could just be a new adventure in your life. You know, and I really like that. And I definitely see by like the end of the week, you're kind of feeling a little bit freer, lighter, happier, you know, a little bit more content with things. So definitely definitely a good week for you guys. You know, I feel like you've been kind of holding on to maybe too much emotional, especially when it comes to some sort of financial stability, and you've been really healing from that. It's kind of left you really stuck in your head, anxious, and maybe this adventure is changing that perspective on like the outlooks of situations. So that can just be your total adventure is like, you know, I've made some kind of judgment call and I'm not focusing on this anymore. You know, I'm pushing past it with that tower. You're shifting that energy into something more. You know, what is it I can create? What is it that I want? And not feeling like you missed out on opportunities anymore. So we have the Judgment, the Ace of Wands, and the Four of Cups kind of as your advice. That tower on the bottom. It's like, what energy can I shift to keep growing? What energy can I shift to keep the forward momentum, you know, and not allow that fear to overtake me or bog me down with that 10 of Wands here. And I feel like whatever judgment call is, it's kind of opening your eye. Her third eye is open here. And it's kind of just allowing it to be what it is. Creating, like focusing on the new creative ideas that you can have, or where can I go from here type of energy, instead of focusing solely on like, what am I missing out on? So definitely a good week for getting out of your comfort zone and trying something new, being a little bit more adventurous. And you'll notice that the magic within you starts to change and it starts to shift. All right, Taurus, that's what I have for you this week. You guys have a great day. Thanks.